Here we go. Metamorphic rocks. What are metamorphic rocks? Pertaining to or characterized by change of form or metamorphosis. Geology. Pertaining to or exhibiting structural change or metamorphism. So let's look up metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Biology. A profound change in form from one stage to the next in the life history of an organism, as from the caterpillar to a butterfly. A complete change of form, structure, or substance, as transformation by magic or witchcraft. That's interesting. Any complete change in appearance, character, circumstances. Let's look up metamorphosis again. Here is Webster's definition. A change of physical form, structure, or substance, especially by supernatural means. Why is metamorphosis tied to supernatural means? Example given, the metamorphosis of humans into animals. A striking alteration in appearance, character, or circumstances. The company has gone through a series of metamorphoses. And here's the example again of caterpillars into butterflies. So it's just strange that they came up with metamorphic rock. Why did they decide to call it metamorphic? Metamorphic rock. Metamorphic or metamorphic in general. Let's just look up metamorphic. Let's go to Webster. Of or relating to metamorphosis. Of a rock relating to or produced by metamorphism. They can't have it both ways. Metamorphism is relating to biology and myths and legend. Metamorphic, interesting. This is Webster's definition. Of or relating to metamorphosis. Of a rock, of relating to or produced by metamorphism. But when you look into metamorphic rock, you get an entire explanation of what metamorphic rock is here via Wikipedia. They used a word that is derived from the word metamorphosis, which means to transform. Similar words are transformation, mutation, transmutation, change, conversion, modification, reordering, etc. It means change of physical form, structure, or substance. They've essentially redefined the word to mean slight variation. They're using it to describe a rock that has gotten harder and denser. That's it. A rock that has gone through some high heat and some pressure and has come out harder and denser, and sometimes with some more minerals. I wouldn't consider that a metamorphosis at all. So I find it interesting that geology has taken a word that had a well-defined meaning in Greek mythology and storytelling in our history, and it was used to describe an abrupt or startling change induced by or as if by magic or a supernatural power. Biologists also use the word to describe the transformation of larvae into an adult organism. Amphibians, insects, crustaceans, etc. all undergo metamorphosis, like a tadpole to a frog or caterpillar to a butterfly. So it's this word, metamorphosis, that we have hijacked. I think that the word metamorphic is the wrong word to use. Having listened to the examples of the word metamorphic and what it has always been used to describe gods shape-shifting into other creatures, it's always been used to describe something extreme. An extreme changeover event is a metamorphosis. Then how can we accept this word as it is used in our time without asking any questions? Metamorphic rock is literally just a rock that has been subjected to heat and pressure and is now harder than it once was. Did you know that? Pretend you haven't been taught the science of rocks since the 3rd grade. I know you were writing the word metamorphic by the time you were 12. I know you've been manipulated, so try to forget all about your education and think about the word itself, metamorphic. Pretend you know nothing about rocks, but you do know the word metamorphic because you know your Greek history. Now pretend someone came out with a new science and discovered these rocks that are supposedly different than other rocks, but not by a lot, and pretend they wanted to call them metamorphic rocks. Wouldn't you be confused? These changes they ascribe to metamorphic rocks do not justify the word metamorphic. These changes are so subtle. How did it get this name? How did it really get this name? That's what I start asking myself. In order to call these rocks metamorphic, we must be missing something, because I don't see the change that warrants that description. Geology's definition of the word does not make sense. A person being completely objective would say, no, metamorphic is the wrong word. Hands down, it is the wrong word. Now, what if there was something about the rocks that did deserve to be described as metamorphic? What if there was an explanation that made perfect sense? What if they were alive and they were living and breathing, and then all of a sudden they were turned into a rock? Now, that is something we can call metamorphic. Now that makes sense. That would fit. Could they be hiding the real reason these rocks are called metamorphic rock? The answer to that is yes. And that is what my channel is about. In the following videos, you're going to hear my attempts at not only showing you that the rocks used to be something else entirely, but also linking the truth about rocks with the apocalypse, and why what I have found is in fact evidence of the apocalypse. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why the word metamorphic has been redefined. It's been redefined to keep you away from the rocks, and thus away from the truth. And as Jason from Archaic says, our world is not what you think.